What is your next stop? You know, it's a way to catch people's attention, and it's also a way to get people thinking, what is their next stop, either in their life or in their career, or it's very general, which works. You know, it can go so many ways of what is your next stop, motivational speaking. You know, when we speak to the kids, when we're speaking to adults, it's something that everyone can relate to, and it's simple.
Just in a meeting, we were talking about the film stuff, and April Lee said it would be really intriguing to ask the question, what is your next stop? Because it's going to make people wonder. And anytime you can grab a person's attention and make them think, it's a wonderful thing. But when I heard the what is your next stop, I felt like it was perfect for what we were trying to do with the kids. The film stuff, I'm excited about it and everything. But our purpose here is to save some kids and change some lives. And the what is your next stop was perfect for that, because we can ask them that question every time we get in front of them and make them think about it. And even adults and college-educated people, what's your next stop after college? Are you gonna come back into your community and be a leader? Are you gonna make a positive impact in the community you came from? Or are you just gonna leave? And I think it's an important question to ask, and it's been perfect for this purpose.
I want you guys to think about that. What's your next stop in life? And keep in mind that a fist fight snowballed into hundreds of lives being affected. People going to jail, people being murdered. My cousin's family was, you know, his kids were raised without a father. I left. Everybody's life is affected by the smallest decision. And when the decision is positive, it's very powerful. And when the decision is negative, it's just as powerful. So you have to be careful with your decision making out here on these streets, and just chase your dreams. And I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I'm gonna ask you what is your next stop, and I want you all to say success. And I'm gonna ask you 3 times. I drove a long way to be here. I want you guys to wake me up, because I gotta drive a long way back to Virginia. And I want you to scream as loud as you can. When I ask you what is your next stop, I want you to scream success. And I'm gonna do it 3 times. What is your next stop?
Success!
What is your next stop?
Success!
What is your next stop?
Success!
If you work hard and you believe that, you can have it. I promise you that.
You know, I usually go through, you know, who I am and where I've come from and how I have succeeded in Hollywood. But I usually hit on, you know, speaking about abstinence, you know, speaking about domestic violence in relationships. You know, it's so important that that is what is spoken about, because so many people, when they make it, they forget, you know, that these kids are still living this life, you know, and even women, you know, they're stuck in relationships that they can't get out of. And that's something it's a soft spot I have in my heart for women who are in domestic violence relationships, or women who have been raped, or men who just want to be men, you know, they want to learn how to lead. And I think that's what we need. We need more leaders. You know, sometimes people are afraid to take on that leadership role, but someone has to do it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have all this money in the world. That doesn't make you a leader. You know, it's when you're there hearing these stories and making a change.
I am no different from you. I come from the same background. I still get my hair done in Jerome from the Dominicans. Thank you for the Dominicans. No. But I'm no different from you. So ask yourselves, what are you going to do? Are you just going to be a sheep and follow? Or are you going to be a leader and start your own revolution? Are you gonna conform to what everyone else is doing? Or are you going to just say, you know what, today I make a choice. I make a choice that even though my mother is on welfare, I make a choice that even though I don't have a father, or I don't have a mother, or I don't have any parent at all, I'm making a choice that today is the day I'm gonna do something for myself. Do you know that in the Bronx, we are the #1 borough for teenagers who have AIDS? Not New Jersey, not Brooklyn, not Manhattan, not Staten Island, not Long Island, the Bronx. Not HIV, AIDS. Young women who are pregnant refuse to have tests. to find out if they have AIDS. Within a year, the child is dead. That's a scary fact. It terrified me to know that in the BX is where I'm from, AIDS is the #1 killer. Let me ask you a question. How many of you like to dream? Dreaming is good, right? Now just imagine if you never got to dream. What would that feel like? It would feel horrible. I come here and I'm thinking, wow, I'm in the Bronx, I'm speaking at this place. What is my message to these kids? What can I say? I don't want to say stay in school and of course. But what I'm really saying is find out who you are. So what if you're a teenager? And so what if times are hard? Make a stand. Have passion. Try to become passionate about something. If it's swimming and you love it and that makes you feel alive, then go for it. Why be good at something when you could be great? I want to be great. Who wants to be great here? I want to be fantabulous. Exactly. But think about it. If you walk away today, if there's anything I want you to walk away with, it's knowing that, wow, April and Ivan came in. They grew up in the same area. They grew up and look at where they're at. My journey has just begun. Even though I've done stand-up comedy, I've done movies, I've done television, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I know the journey that I will have to take is gonna be so amazing. And believe me, I was a teenager once. I know it's hard. But anything you want in life is always gonna be hard. All the time. Be a leader. Lead. Don't be a sheep and follow.
As a motivational speaker, you know, it ties right back into the book. I wanted to tell these stories after I read them back because I felt like all these guys died really for nothing. You know, they died because of where they were born. You know, we were born into a violent area and drugs came along and money came into play and everybody was killing each other to make a fast buck and all these types of things. And I felt like it was important to tell their story in the book. And once that happened, I felt it was important to take it to the next step, which is to tell their story right in front of these children, get right in front of them and say, you know, these guys died for nothing, and this is the environment you're being raised in, and you know, if you're not careful, you'll end up just like them because you are them and they are you. And you know, it's like we tell the kids. April and I both tell them, we're you and you're us. We're no different. We've been able to find a level of success through hard work, but we're no different. And I want to motivate them with that message.